We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that all women are created equal to all men, that all black women are created equal to all white women and white men, that all black men are created equal to all white men, all transgender people are created equal to all other people, all black trans women are created equal, even though our society treats them as social outcasts, and many are murdered. All gay people, all lesbians, are created equal with all straight people. And the Supreme Court, which seems to have just read this, you would think that people who are that smart would have learned to read it faster. Anyway, they just said it. LGBTQ people are created equal. All people working for less than a living wage are created equal with all people with diverse stock portfolios. All women working for 2/3 of what men are making are created equal. More and more people are believing that because it's true. All people whose retirements have been stolen are created equal with those enjoying a comfortable retirement. All people whose jobs have vanished are created equal with those with good jobs. If you take that seriously, it has huge implications for economic policy. The implications are very bigly, much biglier than you would think. All native people whose lands have been taken are created equal, even if some of them have been fighting terrorism since 1492 to be declared equal. All disabled people are created equal with all able-bodied people. All sick people created equal with all healthy people. All people with pre-existing conditions are created equal. All people with preconditions existing of diabetes, cancer, and hypertension are created equal with people whose blood counts are normal, can touch their toes, breathe clean air, drink clean water. All people with pre-existing conditions of poverty, anti-blackness, being born in a certain numbered zip code, they're created equal to people with pre-existing conditions of privilege, inherited prosperity, lack of empathy, being born in a certain numbered zip code, enjoy white solidarity 24/7. All Gen Xers, all Gen Zers, all millennials, all baby boomers, all silent generationers, all created equal. All immigrants, all WAPs, all wetbacks, all green card holders and immigrants with no card at all created equal. All of these are equal, with certain inalienable rights. That means rights which can't be taken away, and laws which protect and preserve us from capricious, unrestrained, cruel powers attempting to take them away, to this very day. And when they are taken away, we have an inalienable right to take them back in order to preserve life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And happiness is not simply a happy feeling. No. To our nation's founders, happiness meant prosperity, thriving, well-being. Today, as we creep closer to 250 years since the Declaration was written, we are experiencing a serious and precipitous decline in prosperity, thriving, and well-being. And for many people, millions of people, the dream of equality is just that. It's a dream. We have been dreaming for some time now. For a long time, we have been dreaming and sleeping, sound asleep. Now we are waking up. What are we going to do now that we are waking up? We must increase our power. All of us for whom the dream of equality is only a dream, and for some it's a nightmare, and all of us who have attained some measure of the dream and want others to enjoy it as well, our power must grow. And you know how power grows, don't you? Our power grows by love. As the great Mavis Staples sang, love is the only transportation to where there's total communication. Love is the source of our power. If you don't believe me, you see this most clearly in personal relationships, in families, in friendships. If you want something important to be done, you go and talk to someone who cares about you, don't you? Or someone whom you care about. James Baldwin put it well. If not for the few people who loved me, I would have come to nothing. I know that's true in my life. It must be true in yours as well. Power grows from loving relationships. And love is also the source of power in larger communities and amongst whole peoples. The world is changing now because thousands and millions of people who didn't even know him have learned to love George Floyd and his family. We didn't know Breonna Taylor or Elijah McClain or Ahmaud Arbery or Rayshard Brooks. But now we love them and their families. I didn't know Cameron Lamb here in Kansas City, but I know his cousin, Taylor Brown. We are family. Love is the only transportation to where there's total communication. There's power even in love of enemies. Jesus knew this. Love your enemy. There's power in such love. Someone may have you as an enemy, but you don't have to have them as your enemy. Jesus said of some of his enemies, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. I think he's talking to us. Forgive us, for we don't know what we're doing in the way in which we have either supported or looked the other way, or been silent about, or voted for law and order policies that have resulted in the deaths of black men especially, but also of black women. The law and order policing policies and the chokehold policing culture that we Americans have nurtured and paid for, that's where the change needs to happen. And the chokehold culture, it's not just in the police station or the squad car. We're not singling them out because it's everywhere. In business, government, in entertainment, education, sports, church. Some of you probably saw, as a result of his order to people to wear masks in public places, our mayor in Kansas City was threatened with text messages that suggested that he should swing from a tree. That would not happen to a white mayor. That is the chokehold, anti-black culture that we must change. A recent CNN story reports that Paul McGowan's walked into an Ohio bank clutching his first paycheck from a new job at an electric company. But instead of cashing the check, worth about $1,000, the teller called 911. As he walked out of the Huntington Bank branch in Brooklyn, Ohio, empty-handed, an officer waited outside, handcuffed him, and put him in the back of a police cruiser. The police finally reached his employer and confirmed the check was valid and let him go. That is the chokehold anti-black culture that we must change now. And we do it by focusing on who we can love and transform into friends, allies, supporters, and brothers and sisters in the serious struggle to turn the dream of liberty and justice for all into reality. The July 4th celebrations, the fireworks, they're wonderful. The Statue of Liberty, the flag, even the founding documents. They're wonderful, but they're only symbols and expressions of democracy. You, today, are the democracy. You are the jury that is out on the calamitous inequality in our nation. And you need to come in with a decisive verdict. Your vote, your word. You are the actionable actors who are the deciding factors. You know, in the Old Testament, the book of Esther was once hotly debated as to whether it should be included in the Jewish Bible called the Tanakh. The reason? The word God wasn't found anywhere in the book of Esther. However, the scholars decided that even though the word God never appeared, Esther had acted as God in her brave defense of the Jewish people who were being threatened with mass murder by a king. As Jesus followers, we often call God love, as the letter of John instructs us. Hear that word again? Love. In the mess we're now in, you are called to become the God consciousness in our time. You are called to act as God with power-creating love. Don't be afraid. God will see you through. You are a soul. You are made in the image of a non-imaged God. You are having a temporary physical experience for which you are responsible as you make an eternal journey. Break with white solidarity. Break with any solidarity that is keeping people unequal 24/7. You have the power to interrupt the pattern. It's a life and death matter for many. Make it yours as well. You can do it with love. Here's one way that I learned from a book some of us have been studying lately. When I run up against people who disagree with me, I tell them, I understand where they're coming from. I've felt the same way too. But that based on my experiences in communities of color, or communities of indigenous people, or disabled people, or seniors, or women workers, I've come to understand this. And then share your personal insight. You may not change someone's mind, but you've kept your mind. And it's harder for someone to dismiss your personal experiences and insights. Now, I want to shift gears here at the end. I want to close with a story from the pandemic. It contains another version of the message that love is where our power is going to come from. Adam Perry. Adam Perry is one of Broadway's top young actors and dancers. He recently starred in Frozen on Broadway. But in March, Adam Perry tested positive for COVID-19. He's been fighting it ever since. It's quite terrifying, he told a reporter the other day. There's nothing like the feeling of not being able to breathe. I've been doing 8 shows a week for 15 to 20 years. Now, I'm just praying daily that I will be back to normal and I will be able to do things again. He concludes, this is a human issue. We have to take care of each other. If one of us is hurting, we're all hurting. It's about teamwork. I agree with Adam Perry. This is about teamwork. It's about love. It's about our combined power, which we need to concentrate now and in the days and months ahead to declare once again our independence from tyranny, and that all people are not only created equal, we are equal. Amen.